Good morning. Philippians chapter 4, verse 5, and we'll just going to focus on the first portion of verse 5. It's a very short verse, but we're going to take this verse in a couple of steps over a couple of thoughts for the day. So the first portion of verse 5 says, let your reasonableness, and that's interesting. That word is translated in its other usages in the New Testament as gentle. Here, reasonableness. I'll come back to that word. Let your reasonableness be known to everyone. Epiikes, reasonableness. I don't think this is a bad translation. Let your reasonableness be known to everyone. It's an interesting move of Paul. Paul's been talking about people not getting along and the need for peace to reign in relationships, for peace and how it leads to rejoicing. He'll talk subsequent to this about anxiety and prayer, and how prayer comes alongside the anxious heart. And so you're kind of in a discombobulated kind of emotive context here that Paul sits this down. And I think that's why the ESV translates this as reasonableness. A way of thinking about it might be something like doing what's fitting. But I want to share one G.B. Caird commentator comments on this term and says the following. And I want to give you this as a way of thinking about this epiikes in its use here. He says that ta epiikes is that considerate courtesy and respect for the integrity of others, which prompts a person not to be forever standing on his rights. And it is preeminently the character of Jesus. So it's the thing that allows me not to feel like I have to assert my rights in regard to you. That's what he's saying. And I think that is just a marvelous way of putting what Paul's getting at here. Listen, when peace reigns in your life, you don't feel like you got to lay hold of the bull by the horns and move the meter by your emotions, move the meter by your force, move the meter by your intensity, move the meter by how aggressively you happen to the relationship, to the care or concern, to the situation as it is. Instead, you're okay to think, process with a calm heart about doing what's fitting without simply falling back on your rights. When you do that, to borrow from the other uses of this word in the New Testament, you rarely are gentle. So I think there's a good word here. Let your reasonableness be known to all means in the middle of emotional discombobulation. Don't be a person that asserts power willy-nilly or lays hold of it with your rights. Instead, do that which is fitting for the circumstance because you have equitably assessed it and understand who you're relating to and how to relate to them. Be reasonable. May the Lord bless you as you are. Take care.